What if I told you that the secret to powering a luxury watch like a Rolex is sitting in your kitchen drawer right now? Sounds unbelievable, right? But stick with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you something that battery companies would rather you never discover. Imagine this. You pull out your favorite watch, only to find it's dead. Most people would toss it in a drawer, maybe even throw it away, or head to the store and shell out $50 for a replacement battery. But what if you didn't have to? Well, what if you could bring that watch back to life using nothing more than a few simple items you already have at home? Let's do a quick demonstration. Here's a watch that hasn't ticked in months. I'm going to use a few things you'd never expect. No fancy tools, no expensive parts. Watch closely. And there it is. The second hand starts moving just like magic. But it's not magic. It's science. And it's a trick that's been hiding in plain sight, right under your nose. Most people never question what's inside those tiny batteries or why they cost so much. But today, you're not most people. Today, you're about to learn a DIY hack that could save you money, keep your gadgets running, and maybe even impress your friends. Ready to see how it's done? Well, let's dive in. Let's talk about the real headache behind watch batteries. If you've ever owned a nice watch, especially a luxury brand like Rolex, you know the frustration all too well. One day, your watch is ticking along just fine. The next, it's dead. You flip it over, pop open the back, and realize you're dealing with a tiny, specialized battery that you can't just pick up at the corner store. And even if you do find one, it's never cheap. In fact, replacing a Rolex battery can cost anywhere from $30 to $50, sometimes even more if you go through an authorized dealer. That's not just inconvenient, it's a ripoff. But why do these batteries fail so quickly? The truth is, most watch batteries are designed with a limited lifespan. They're small, yes, but they're also intentionally made to run out after a year or two. This isn't just about the size of the battery or the power demands of the watch. It's about planned obsolescence, a strategy where products are designed to fail or become outdated, so you have to keep buying replacements. Battery companies and luxury watch brands profit every time you need a new cell. They want you to believe you need their expensive, specialized products, and they've built an entire industry around that belief. And it gets worse. Brands like Rolex often use proprietary battery sizes or unique casings, making it nearly impossible to find a generic replacement. This locks you into their ecosystem, forcing you to pay premium prices for something as basic as a battery. It's a cycle that keeps you dependent on the industry, always coming back for more. But what if you could break free from this cycle? What if you didn't have to rely on overpriced, hard-to-find batteries? What if the solution was already in your home, just waiting to be discovered? That's exactly what we're about to explore. Let's pull back the curtain on what's actually happening inside those tiny watch batteries. At first glance, a button cell might look like a mysterious little disc, but the science behind it is surprisingly simple. Think of a watch battery as a miniature sandwich, except instead of bread and filling, you've got layers of different metals and a special chemical paste. This sandwich is what keeps your watch ticking. Here's how it breaks down. Every battery, no matter how small, has three main parts: the anode, the cathode, and the electrolyte. The anode is usually made from a metal like zinc, and it acts as the battery's negative side. The cathode, on the other hand, is often made from a compound like manganese dioxide or silver oxide, and it serves as the positive side. Sandwiched between these two is the electrolyte, which is a gooey or paste-like substance that allows tiny particles, called ions, to move back and forth between the anode and cathode. And when you pop a battery into your watch, a chemical reaction starts. The anode gives up electrons, which travel through the watch's circuitry to the cathode. This flow of electrons is what powers the gears and keeps the hands moving. Meanwhile, the electrolyte helps shuttle ions between the two metals, keeping the reaction going smoothly. It's a closed loop, and as long as the chemical reaction continues, your watch keeps ticking. So, in essence, a watch battery is just a cleverly designed metal sandwich with a bit of chemical goo in the middle. Once you understand this, it's easy to see that you don't need a factory or a lab to make something similar. In fact, with the right materials, you can recreate this process at home. And that's where things start to get really interesting. Now that you know the basic science behind a watch battery, here's where things get really exciting. What if I told you that you already have everything you need to make your own battery right in your kitchen or junk drawer? That's right. The same principles that power a Rolex can be replicated with everyday items most people overlook. This isn't just a theory, it's a fact that's been proven time and time again, even in science classrooms around the world. Let's start with the classics. Remember the lemon battery experiment from school? You stick a copper penny and a galvanized nail into a lemon, and suddenly you've got enough electricity to light up a small bulb. That's not just a fun trick. It's a real demonstration of how simple materials can create a chemical reaction that generates power. The lemon acts as the electrolyte, while the metals serve as the anode and cathode. The same concept can be applied to making a watch battery, but with materials that are even more accessible and practical for everyday use. So what can you use? For the anode, aluminum foil is a fantastic substitute. It's lightweight, flexible, and conducts electricity well. For the cathode, a copper coin, like a penny, works perfectly. As for the electrolyte, you don't need anything fancy. A mixture of vinegar and salt creates a conductive solution that allows ions to flow, just like the goo inside a commercial battery. Even a piece of paper towel soaked in this solution can serve as the separator, keeping the metals apart while letting the chemical reaction happen. These aren't just random substitutions. They're proven alternatives that mimic the exact roles of the components inside a store-bought battery. And here's the kicker. These materials are so common that you probably have them within arm's reach right now. Aluminum foil, coins, vinegar, salt, and a bit of paper towel. That's it. No need for specialized chemicals or expensive parts. It's almost unbelievable how simple it is, and yet this knowledge is rarely shared outside of science fairs or obscure DIY forums. Why? Because if everyone knew how easy it was to make their own batteries, the big battery companies would lose a lot of business. But you're not everyone. You're about to learn how to turn these everyday items into a power source that can bring your watch, and maybe even more, back to life. Now that you know the science and the secret materials, let's get hands-on. I'm going to walk you through, step by step, how to build your own DIY watch battery using nothing but household items. This isn't just a fun experiment, it's a practical hack that could save you money and keep your favorite watch ticking. So, gather your materials: aluminum foil, a copper coin, like a penny, vinegar, salt, a paper towel, and a pair of scissors. If you have a multimeter, grab that too. It'll help you test your creation. Step 1, prepare your electrolyte. In a small cup, mix about 2 tablespoons of vinegar with a pinch of salt. Stir until the salt dissolves completely. The solution will act as the goo that lets ions flow between your metals, just like in a real battery. Step 2, cut your materials to size. Take your aluminum foil and cut out a small circle, roughly the size of the original watch battery. Do the same with your copper coin. If it's too big, you can trim it down with metal snips, or use a smaller coin if you have one. The goal is to have both metal pieces fit snugly inside the battery compartment of your watch. Step 3, make your separator. Cut a small circle from a paper towel, again matching the size of your metals. Soak this piece in your vinegar salt solution until it's fully saturated but not dripping wet. This will keep the metals from touching directly while allowing the chemical reaction to happen. Step 4, assemble your battery sandwich. Place the aluminum foil on the bottom. This will be your anode. Next, lay the soaked paper towel on top of the foil. Finally, place the copper coin on top as your cathode. Press the layers together gently, making sure they're aligned and flat. If you have a multimeter, now's a great time to check the voltage. Place one probe on the aluminum and the other on the copper. You should see a small voltage, usually between 0.8 and 1.1 volts, enough to power many watches. Step 5, fit your DIY battery into the watch. Carefully insert your homemade cell into the battery compartment, making sure the aluminum side touches the negative terminal and the copper side touches the positive. If your watch has a tight fit, you may need to trim the layers a bit more. Replace the back cover and check for movement. With any luck, you'll see the second hand start ticking, proof that your DIY battery is working. Safety tip: while this battery is safe for short-term use and experimentation, it's not designed for long-term reliability. The vinegar and salt solution can eventually corrode the metals, so keep an eye on your watch and remove the battery if you notice any leakage or discoloration. Always wash your hands after handling the materials, and never use this method in expensive or irreplaceable watches without understanding the risks. Troubleshooting: if your watch doesn't start, double-check your connections. Make sure the metals aren't touching each other directly. This will short-circuit the battery. Ensure the paper towel is moist but not soaking, and that the metals are clean and free of oxidation. Sometimes, flipping the battery over or adjusting the fit can make all the difference. And there you have it, a working watch battery made from items you probably had lying around the house. Not only have you saved money, but you've also learned a skill that most people don't even realize is possible. This is the kind of knowledge that puts you ahead of the curve, and it's just the beginning of what you can do with a little curiosity and creativity. Ready to see how it stacks up against the real thing? Let's put it to the test. Now comes the moment of truth, the part you've been waiting for. We've built our DIY battery from scratch using nothing but household items. But does it actually work in a real watch? Let's find out together. First, I carefully open the back of the watch and remove the old, dead battery. I take our homemade battery sandwich, aluminum foil, salt and vinegar soaked paper towel, and copper coin, and gently fit it into the battery compartment. It's a snug fit, but with a little adjustment, it sits perfectly in place. I make sure the aluminum side is touching the negative terminal and the copper side is on the positive. This alignment is crucial, so double check before closing the watch. With everything in place, I snap the back cover on and flip the watch over. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, slowly, the second hand begins to move. It's subtle at first, but then it ticks forward, steady and sure. That's the magic of DIY science in action. A watch that was dead just minutes ago is now alive, powered by a battery you made yourself. But how does it compare to a store-bought battery? Let's do a quick side-by-side. The commercial battery fits perfectly, delivers a consistent voltage, and is designed to last for months or even years. Our DIY battery, on the other hand, produces enough voltage to get the watch running, but it may not last as long. The salt and vinegar solution can dry out or corrode the metals over time, so you might need to refresh or rebuild your battery after a few days or weeks. Still, the fact that it works at all is impressive. In a pinch, or just for the satisfaction of doing it yourself, this homemade battery is a game changer. It proves that you don't have to be at the mercy of expensive proprietary batteries. With a little ingenuity, you can keep your watch ticking, and maybe even inspire others to try it too. So if making your own watch battery is this simple, why isn't everyone doing it? The answer lies in a mix of industry profits, patents, and a culture that encourages us to throw things away instead of fixing them. Big battery companies and luxury watch brands make billions every year selling replacement batteries and proprietary parts. It's in their best interest to keep the process mysterious and complicated, so you keep coming back for their products instead of making your own. Over the years, there have been countless stories of inventors and tinkerers who came up with alternative energy solutions, some even more efficient or longer lasting than what's on the market. But many of these ideas never made it to the mainstream. Sometimes it's because of strict patents that lock up the technology, making it illegal for others to use or improve upon it. Other times, it's simply because these solutions threaten the profits of established companies, so they're quietly ignored or dismissed as impractical. We also live in a world where convenience is king. Most people would rather toss a dead watch and buy a new one than spend a few minutes learning how to fix it. This throwaway culture benefits manufacturers, but leaves us dependent and less self-sufficient. But as you've seen today, the knowledge to break free from this cycle is out there. You just have to know where to look. And sometimes the most powerful solutions are the ones hiding in plain sight. If you thought this DIY battery trick was only good for watches, think again. The same basic principle can be used to power a whole range of small devices around your home. Think about all those gadgets that run on button cells or small batteries, TV remotes, LED keychain lights, small toys, even some hearing aids and emergency flashlights. With a little creativity, your homemade battery can give these devices a second life. For example, if your remote control suddenly stops working and you don't have a spare battery on hand, you can quickly assemble a DIY cell using the same aluminum, copper, and electrolyte method. Just adjust the size to fit the battery compartment, and you're back in business. The same goes for those little LED lights you keep in your emergency kit. In a blackout or survival situation, being able to whip up a battery from household items could make a real difference. This isn't just about saving money, it's about building self-sufficiency and resilience. Every time you experiment with these DIY solutions, you're learning valuable skills and gaining confidence in your ability to solve problems without relying on expensive store-bought fixes. So don't stop at watches. Try powering other small devices, tweak your materials, and see what works best. Who knows? You might even come up with your own improvements or new uses for this simple, powerful hack. The possibilities are only limited by your curiosity and willingness to experiment. So let's recap what you've just unlocked. You learned why watch batteries fail and how the industry profits from keeping you dependent on expensive proprietary replacements. You discovered the simple science behind button cells and saw how everyday items, aluminum foil, a coin, vinegar, and salt, can be transformed into a working battery. You followed the step-by-step process, watched a dead watch come back to life, and saw how this trick can power more than just timepieces. Most importantly, you've gained a skill that most people don't even realize is possible. But don't let this knowledge go to waste. Be the one who knows the secret, the person friends and family turn to when their gadgets die. I challenge you to try this DIY battery hack yourself. Experiment, improve, and share your results in the comments below. Did you get your watch ticking again? Did you power up a remote or flashlight? Your experience could inspire someone else to break free from the cycle of planned obsolescence. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This channel is all about uncovering hidden science, suppressed solutions, and practical DIY energy hacks that the mainstream rarely talks about. Don't miss out on the next breakthrough. Join the DIY revolution and take control of your technology, one simple hack at a time.